Check 1, 2, 3. Hey, I'm back, man. I don't think you guys realize I must have taken 7 takes, and 6 of them were fantastic. The one I left that I didn't mess up, don't ask me how, but I took like 7 10-minute separate 10 minutes, so 70 minutes or so. Stopped recording and somehow didn't load them the right way, so I lost like 7 videos of what I was trying to say, and I got a fair one that's out there for the Bonzo Bash Part 1. So let me hopefully do some talking, and boy, man, everyone was at this Bonzo Bash. I mean, who could ever forget Bobby Rondinelli from Rainbow on the Straight Between the Eyes album? I didn't realize he had played for about an hour or so, and I said, Bobby, when are you going to play, man? He's like, you're weird. Go away. What are you? You're weird. You're a jerk. Sorry, Bobby, I didn't know you were playing this great drum Bonzo Bash. And of course, Richie Rano should be very grateful that I got his autograph. You know, I have it, and you know, you can tell Lars Ulrich now from Metallica. Maybe they'll cover one of your songs in Stars. S-T-A-R-Z. You're one of the most dangerous people on planet Earth, Richie. I didn't do it. I didn't say anything. I did not do it. I'm innocent. I'm innocent. Yes, my Pearl Jam shirt. This is my Pearl Jam shirt. Pearl Jam, Pearl Jam. Anyways, vintage. I have Pearl Jam, one of their demos, man. Them, like Living Colour, I basically found those bands in the late 80s, early 90s. No, I mean, I was up on them from prehistoric times. What else, man? I remember as a kid, man, going through all the record stores. Town and Country, Western New Jersey, it was called. And, you know, I'd see the Kiss album. I thought they were like Japanese samurais. You know, Hotter Than Hell album. And it scared the crap out of me. I was like, oh my God, man, what's up with it? Just wacky and all that stuff. And then just when I was 10 years older, they tried to sell me the song Baby Come Back by Player, but I liked the song Peg by Steely Dan. I thought it was, they should sing it. I said, baby, you'll come back to you. And they said, no, it's Peg, it will come back to you. So I was hit, man. Steely Dan Asia I bought when I was 10 on my own from just hearing it on the radio. And I was a kid in 1976, they were playing Wings in camp, you know, Let 'Em In, Silly Love Songs, and then from there I found out about the Beatles and got Meet the Beatles, the Beatles' second album. 77 was a great year. I remember I bought Sgt. Pepper, and this out of this Park Ridge record store that probably was only there like 6 months or a year or two. And then Magical Mystery, my favorite album of all time, I bought later in that year. And I even had the shirt I got in the picture of Magical Mystery tour at this, what do you call it? Not boutique, just with a Roman set or something like that. So very cool when growing up. You know, as a kid too, going to the library, I mean, I would take rocks out of the library. I mean, my sister and her friend had toys in the attic. I wasn't that knocked out by it. I thought it was cool and everything, but I took rocks out in like 76, 77 from the library, the early Bob Marley albums, the Jethro Tull Too Old to Rock and Roll, the Aqualung, Living in the Past, Zeppelin. They put physical graffiti in my library on this little Ampex tape that was horrible sounding. It was like, the sound quality. And but I liked the Dancing Days song in the album. I didn't realize in the mid-70s I was actually listening to Zeppelin when I didn't even know they were like Zeppelin. All these bands, I just checked the stuff out because the covers looked interesting or whatever. Dancing Days, Over the Hills Far Away, I mean, a great record that was, Houses of the Holy. So I was listening to all this stuff without really sort of knowing that I was actually listening to Led Zeppelin. I mean, I'd go to a friend's house, his brother, and he had these posters of, you know, Jethro Tull. I thought there was a Jethro Tull or a Led Zeppelin. There's a guy named Led Zeppelin. Or he had the Jerry Garcia look. Don't look like Jerry in the Grateful Dead poster. You know, Young and all these cool albums and stuff like that. So it was a very interesting time to grow up in the 70s and 80s. Mainly 70s for me, when I was very aware from a young age, like 6, 7, 8 years old. First time I heard Kiss was Rock and Roll All Night on a K-Tel album. The first song was Maxine Nightingale, the Melody Brothers, Let Your Love Flow was also on that album, and tons of good songs. But yeah, it was the last track, I believe, or second to last track, I believe. Then the last track was Moonlight Feels Right by Starbuck, if I'm not mistaken. My memory, I don't think I still have that album, K-Tel album. But very cool, man. I met all the guys in Kiss, gave my demo tape to Gene Simmons at one time. And he was like, here's the garbage can. I could have got all their autographs, all these people throughout. And then Ace Frehley's the only one I actually got an autograph. I waited in 1987 outside of L'Amour's Club Bar in Brooklyn. I got Ace to do a nice one, but autograph. Paul Stanley a few times, but he didn't want to be bothered in his art gallery and all this stuff. And I got one picture of him on the run. I thought I had one of these cheap $5, $10 cameras, took a quick picture, and it actually came out great. It was a one-shot deal. But he wouldn't sign, and Peter Criss a couple of times I've been in close proximity, especially last Saturday night. He walked literally right 2 feet from me, but he didn't really be bothered. But everyone else he'd be bothered, but not me, so I don't know. But I guess Ace was the nicest, believe it or not, the one time. One time he was at the Rock. Oh, let's see, maybe I didn't meet him the other time, but I waited till like 4 in the morning for him to sign. I met Gildan Radner, don't ask me where, outside the Dakota in 1982, had her sign something. But all these guys I met, I got pictures with, I never asked to sign. And that's all like these, lunch pail type rock stars and kids to sign stuff, for motivate them, or dinosaurs and stuff. But the big joggers of the world, the Keith Richards, the, Richie Sambora, David Bryan, Tico Torreses of the world. I got pictures, Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel, pictures of them. Some of them are crazy, like Billy Joel rolling his eyes like he's drunk. But I could have got autographs if I wanted of all these people. It would have been really cool, probably. I would have had some valuable piece, but like an idiot, I didn't. I wanted to be professional. I gave them all my demos and CDs, and Springsteen didn't even stop once. I was literally the only one waiting for him, but he drove in an SUV. He was on the other side, but he could have. I had darkness on the edge of town, and he refused to stop. And Bono's a nice person. He didn't sign anything, but he wouldn't take a picture of me, but he let me go right up to him and take pictures. That's kind of a cool rockin' video type of thing. And who else was? Patti Smith was cool. There are a lot of cool people. It's just not coming to me. The 2 guys in REM I met at separate different times, Michael Stipe and Peter Buck. I think I saw Walking Around the Village Stipe, and Peter Buck was playing in a band, Sport something, a sports band they put together in Hoboken. Got a picture with Peter, not Mike. I didn't have a pen or anything on me either. Never come prepared to get signed stuff. It's a shame too. Who else have I met from the Who? I just missed meeting Pete Townsend. I don't think I met anyone from the Who, have I? Let me think about that. Zeppelin, I met Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, and John Paul Jones at the Monkey Bar, and Joan Jett. I almost got into an argument with her at the bar, but she was cool. I was having like this discussion, didn't know who I was talking to. She was looking at the bar. I was just asking questions about it, how much the drinks are to tip. And I kept having this conversation about the Zeppelin movie with this woman who was very persistent. Turned out to be Joan Jett, actually, and also at that party at the Monkey Bar. This was after the Ziegfeld showing of Celebration Days about a few years ago, 2 years ago. So I got this pass for the Monkey Bar, and Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, Robert Plant were all there going in. And Robert Plant was a total dick. Didn't want to be bothered. Sorry, Zeppelin fans. I know he was a great artist as far as back in the day. He was really cool. Even he's done pretty good work recently. Just not the nicest of people. To go away, mate. Not that, mate. He was too busy schmoozing with all the rich folk at this bar, at the tables. And Jimmy Page talked to me twice. It was very nice. I didn't get any pictures or autographs. I know people are like, oh, you made this up. I didn't make it up. John Paul Jones started out kind of strange, cold, just looking at me, staring, but he turned out to be pretty nice. He wasn't so bad either. He was nicer than me. I didn't see Jason on that. But that's a little rock and roll of people who I've had brushes with in the rock history. Like I said, Kirk Hammett was there, and Chad Smith also at the party. I didn't talk to them much. Chad Smith I talked to before, actually, at the Ziegfeld outside the front. Eddie Trunk was there too in the lobby. Who else did I see? A few others. That was fun. That was a really fun night. And that same night I crashed this office party with this other psycho woman photographer that I followed, and I went to a Jimmy Fallon taping earlier in that day too, trying to wait for Pete Townsend, but my plans got derailed and I took a chance to go down there, and I got in there late. Just a lot of weird stuff. But let me talk more about it on the next episode, and thank you guys for listening.